We're going to be cooking a Greek-style bean stew. It's got cinnamon, honey, oregano. We're going to finish it off with feta. We're going to keep it quite light with just some chopped tomatoes and some really good prebiotic vegetables as well. The reason why we're doing the second podcast is because I really wanted to teach you how to cook. After the last time we chatted, I remember you saying you're not much of a cook, you can't cook the same kind of meals that I can cook, so this is really a challenge for me to try and teach you something that you can, cook for your family afterwards.
I think it's a bigger challenge than you think, actually. First of all, I'll never be able to cook like you can cook, but I can't even cook at all is the important point. I know a lot about food, I have to say, I know about nutrition and what's in it, but I just don't have your knack, I'm afraid. First thing is to buy an oven.
You don't have an oven?
Not yet.
Well, this is quite versatile because you can put it on a hob.
Okay, good.
You do have a hob?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, it's quite clear from the data so far, without sort of blaming people for catching COVID, which is the last thing we want to do. But if you look at something like the New York data, where 15,200 people died, of those, only 99 didn't have something else wrong with them. So obesity, heart problems, diabetes. And of course, you don't want to blame people for having those illnesses, but we know over a long period of time what you eat and how much exercise you do, etc., and your lifestyle choices do strongly determine whether you're going to get those lifestyle-related disease. Taking that as a sort of basic hypothesis, we're thinking, well, if someone gets COVID, could we do something with nutrition to improve their immunity, inflammatory status within the time frame where it would affect the natural course of the disease. Of course, we don't know that, and that's why we need to do a study. So the hypothesis is if you get people and give them phytochemical-rich foods, foods with lots of aroma, colour, and taste, all things you cook with, we can change their gut health with targeted probiotics. We could reduce the dysfunction and inflammation and reduce the course of the illness and hopefully improve outcomes. So that's what we're currently doing, randomizing people to a placebo or that intervention. We looked actually at the last SARS outbreak. There's a lot of data from China and the Far East and India where they've looked at which foods have direct antiviral properties.
Oh, really?
And there's surprisingly quite a few. One of the ways these foods work is they can have direct antiviral properties. The other way they work is they can regulate an appropriate inflammatory response. Okay. So they improve the immunity and then they avoid this excess inflammation, which is also important.
As you've seen, I've done it exactly the same time as we've been chatting here. There's chopped leeks and chopped celery. You can chop...
Yep.
Good.
I can do that.
Good, right answer. Because we're cooking for about 6 people here, your kids here as well. The other thing that you can add to this meal is orzo. So that's like a dried pasta, which resembles kind of like rice.
Yeah.
If you didn't want to add orzo, you want to add something a little bit more high fiber, you could add something like a rice pea pasta. This goes in the oven, and we're going to continue our podcast whilst I'm quote unquote cooking.
Well, it looks fantastic.
Good.
You've kept the celery a little bit crisp, which is good.
Yeah.
If I'd done this, that would be a soggy slush in the background. I hear from patients sometimes and friends, I don't want to live till 100, you know, I prefer to enjoy myself. But he said, we're actually talking about things which are more enjoyable than white bread with plastic cheese on. You know,
Well, I hope your kids like it as well.
Well, do you want to see if they like it?
Yeah, come on. What do you think?
It's really good.
It's good, yeah?
Do you think Dad could make that for you?
No.
I'm going to prove to you he can, honestly. He's definitely going to be able to make them.
I've been taught. I'm going to do it next week.
Thanks for watching this video. If you want to support The Doctor's Kitchen, make sure you subscribe right now, like this video, and check out all the other videos we have right here. Also, go to thedoctorskitchen.com. There are plenty of recipes and other products there to help you live the healthiest life possible.